man, I feel like we only brushed the surface about this Elon Musk story because it has been the obsession of so many people to focus on Elon Musk, who is a billionaire, to buy Twitter. And every single time a billionaire has done something, like, I don't know, Jeff Bezos buying the Washington Post, no one really said anything. It happened in
No.
2013 of it's not like Twitter didn't exist in 2013. We have a archive of what anyone had said in 2013 about Jeff Bezos buying Amazon. Oh, but it's the one. I'm sorry, not Jeff Bezos buying Amazon. Jeff Bezos buying the Washington Post, because of course I'm going to boomer that one up. But what I am trying to say is that the Washington Post has a special place in the hearts of so many liberals because Jeff Bezos was never considered someone who was going against the grain or saying something that was, controversial, or even just dunking on people on social media and trolling or shit posting. But just because Elon Musk does it, and he sometimes hangs with unsavory characters, or just jokes around with people, all of a sudden it's the end of humanity.
Right. And memes at the expense of some journalists. Now, there are some daunting questions that I have when it comes to Elon Musk taking over Twitter. One of them, of course, is how much of a fucking coward he is when it comes to China.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's like the one thing I could think of that, like, all right, everybody is Blake buying the hell out of Elon Musk, particularly on the right. Yet they haven't really said, look, when the initial story about opening a showroom in Xinjiang happened just at the beginning of this year, Jay, you and I talked about it, but nobody else said shit.
No, nobody did. And I feel like I'm the only person who's really, like, we're the only people who's really calling him a fucking coward every single time. Like, when that happened, I have been nonstop calling him a coward when it comes to China, asking him about things in China. He's never responded. He's not going to. But I feel like I'm the only one who presses him on it. And that's a very important thing to press on, especially if he believes himself to be a free speech absolutist. If he is, then ask him about China. Ask him about Chinese laws against free speech. You are saying you're a free speech absolutist. We're getting Twitter. You're buying Twitter. You're doing all that kind of stuff. Then what are your thoughts on China, on pushback of China, on China's free speech laws, on China doing all of these things that you are saying that you're so for, after you pray, like, you went on your knees and sucked Xi's dick in praising China. Like, he did such a fucking whorish job in doing it. Like, he was almost at Blake By levels of simping for Xi when he was commenting for China.
Yeah.
And this is an important question.
It's also wild. I mean, you have a bunch of libs kind of sticking their foot in their mouths. I think Public Citizen tweeted something along the lines of how they were blocked by Elon Musk, and they're like, so much for free speech. Like, you really actually do have let's take that. Let's just break that down for just one moment.
Right.
Elon Musk blocking you is not a sign that free speech is over. He has the right to not hear your bullshit, just like you have the right to not hear his. Now, is he deplatforming you? That would be a different story. Obviously, that's not what happened with Public Citizen. But on the second part of that, you actually have a lot of ammunition to use against Elon Musk, particularly the stuff about Xinjiang, and then Tesla opening up a showroom in Xinjiang. That's the same level of hypocrisy that many people on the right make critiques about, say, like Disney. Like, they're Well, they go and spout off about like don't say gay, the supposed don't say gay bill, which is really just the parental rights and education bill in Florida, and then they don't say a word about how they have a huge presence in China, while China largely has a very, very strict policy against that. Well, they certainly don't have gay marriage out in China, but any sort of dissent against the Chinese Communist Party is met with pretty brutal force, whether you're talking about Hong Kong or in Xinjiang, practicing different faiths, speaking your mind, speaking out against the government. All of that is basically cracked down on, and Disney doesn't want to say anything. But if Elon Musk is going to partake in dealing with China, it's not like it's not like people can't say anything to him about it.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck?
That would be the best. That would be the best criticism to point out when it comes to Elon Musk, and some tech journalists and some journalists have done that. There needs to be more of that on the right, instead of this fucking simping, because you don't know if he's bringing Trump back and stuff. You don't know if he's
but even Trump said he's not going to come back. But that's not like
you don't know any of that.
I mean, yeah, but Trump said he's not going to come back. But even if there was the possibility that Trump did come back, like again, this happens almost every single time. One side finds a hero in some culture, tech, political battle, is that they're not perfect. They're not like, they really are not your savior. They have done some shady shit as well. And the first thought that comes to mind is like people simping for Anthony Fauci. I'm sorry, people Blake buying for Anthony Fauci and Andrew Cuomo. Just saying. So like, praise Elon Musk when you think he's doing a good job, but remind yourself, like, he's not above criticism. None of us are. We've all done well. I haven't done anything that Elon Musk has done. Let's be honest. I certainly haven't made my parents proud.
No, neither have I. But yes, you're totally right. And we don't know when and if this whole deal is going to go through. And I'm one of the guys who wants to burn it all down and all that kind of stuff. And watching tech journalists spoken like a true
Lebanese terrorist, burning it all down. Jihadi.
Honestly, and I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving it. But I'm not going to the extent where I'm like Blake buying and simping for Elon Musk over all of this stuff that's happening. I hope there's going to be like really good changes. I hope we're going to see more open debates and stuff. And this is really going to bring to light the absolute garbage that Twitter has been doing in terms of suppressing and being the leaders of suppressing stories. When a story is broken on Twitter and it's suppressed, every other platform follows. Like when Hunter Biden was suppressed, after that, you had Facebook following, then you had YouTube following, and so on. And then
when Trump was banned from Twitter, everybody
else followed. And then COVID misinformation shit. Everybody followed that off of
Twitter tested positive for COVID, and then every other social media platform followed suit. Basically going out of the way to lick toilets and simping. Blake buying for COVID. It's endless.
It really is. And for them to this thing that sickens me the most, and the reason why it sickens me, it's because this is what I do to all my girlfriends. You gaslight the fuck out of them.
What?
All right. No, listen. So you tell them one thing, and you make them believe this thing, and then you tell them that was never a thing to begin with whatsoever. So when they start going crazy and acting crazy, like you said one thing, but you're doing something else, and you can just be like, "Oh, you're the crazy person," and that's what I feel like. like tech companies and journalists have been doing for the past years, but seriously witnessing it for the past like 10 or 12 years. Because abusers can point out abuser. No, I'm joking. I don't do that kind of stuff. Come on, guys. Stop it. That's not me. I am fucking amazing to all your moms. I haven't gaslit any of them. But you get what I'm talking about. Like they will gaslight. And then when you start calling them out and you start going after it and stuff, they are like, "Oh, you're the crazy person. This is the fake information we're pointing out. This is the fake truth and stuff, and you pointing this out makes you crazy. You are the crazy person." Like pretending there's 85 fucking genders, or pretending like there are teachers out there that are not teaching garbage to your kids, or the fact that masks don't work, or even that the Hunter Biden story was real. And then when you push back on any of this stuff, they turn it around on you, and they make it like you're the crazy person.
By the
You're
way,
the
Jay,
insane person.
before my next point, look who decided to show up to the stream.
Hey guys.
Spencer,
gotta hate finals.
You are more than half an hour late. This is unacceptable. How dare you be a student and get good grades? You are hereby fired.
You're gone,
Ramadan.
At least I'm not late to the work.
You're done.
Though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's so dumb. So my next point was going to be about how something, and I forgot because Spencer Sachs, our producer, truly messed up my train of thought. Carlos saying my ass grocery store. What? Mary Lynette, who is, for those of you who don't know, and I'm going to say this to every single time so that every single person who watches the stream knows what Mary means to us. Mary is Jay's mom. Jay being...
She is my mom.
This guy. Mary, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, beyond the shame and embarrassment, I'm very proud of both of you. Thank you, Mary. It means so much.
Thank you. I'm very sorry that I'm a shame and an embarrassment to you.
It's a good time to be a shame and embarrassment. Mary watches this stream so that my parents don't have to. So Mary really taking one for the team. Thank you, Mary. Oh, look at me, Jay. Me going full Blake Bye for your mom. Never go full Blake Bye for anyone.
You never,
except for Jay's mom. We can all fully go Blake Bye for Jay's mom.
Absolutely, you can always do that. Faye coming in. Of course, Jay doesn't gaslight anyone, given where he hangs out, referencing women and his prosperity for Taco Bell. His propensity for Taco Bell, he might cause a fire.
He might. He just might.
Jay,
what were we just talking about? How was it about disinformation and how everybody's like, oh, disinformation is going to be coming? What?
No, we were talking. I was making a point how the media lies and gaslights and pretends like you're the crazy person for questioning it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But there was a specific point that I wanted to add, and I'm trying to remember.
They're all talking about how disinformation is going to be prevalent now on Twitter because he's taken over. When the same people were pushing disinformation the whole without any pushback, without any fucking repercussions.
Right. No. Yeah. Totally. I'm totally get what you're saying there. And I feel, and it's obviously by design. Okay, it's by design. They do this specifically with the purpose of making you insane to justify gaining more and more power. And Spencer, what were you just throwing up there? What does that say? Can you zoom in? I'm a boomer.
So he's saying how Congress can prevent Elon Musk from turning Twitter back into an unfettered disinformation machine. And the guy works for the New Yorker.
What? No.
The guy works for the New Yorker.
No way. That's too much.
It's fucking hilarious. It's so funny. And they're acting like disinformation has never been put on Twitter. They're acting like, people calling other people pieces of shit has never happened on Twitter. People misgendering people has never happened on Twitter. But now Elon Musk is on there. All of this stuff that's going to happen. It was a paradise before him. A paradise.
It's just, Jay, everything about this is just so funny to me because, like, all right, in the time that I have been off Twitter, I have had so much clarity mentally, just not thinking about all the sort of like in the weeds, petty, feuds and stuff like that. Just a lot of bullshit, really.
Right.
And it's for people who actually don't use Twitter, this is truly a nothing burger. It's not like this is going to change or alter the course of history. Twitter is going to be Twitter. In fact, if Twitter turns into a neutral platform, which is something that I think was originally the purpose of it, like being a town square.
Yep.
I'm just saying power in numbers, right, Jay? I mean, if your side is more persuasive and comes up with better arguments for your agenda, for your cause, wouldn't it make sense to not leave Twitter? Because if Twitter is like the first, like, if we're talking about like the spread of information, think of like obviously like information being like suckling on a teat, like mommy milky, yeah, and Twitter being like the first one to get like the taste of that mommy milky. Nom 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 nom.
So the public boob for sustenance, for
Right,
information.
the public boob for informational sustenance. Just think of that. That I want that image in your head of.
And this one too.
At any time that you're tweeting or you're getting information, think of yourself just like, mommy milky. Of course, that's the mommy milky of information. And basically, from there on, every other, outlet, website, social media platform follows suit. If you leave Twitter out of like a sense of defiance, or you just cannot take that website, you have truly, you probably don't deserve to be on Twitter in the first place because you take this shit really serious, way too seriously.
Right.
Also, mommy milky.
No, and you're right. I mean, you don't need to take Twitter is not supposed. I mean, some of the stuff can be taken seriously, but some of it shouldn't be taken as seriously.
Throw that back up. Now, Papa P says Emily misgendered Siraj, Emily being my wife. She thought he was a man who could provide. Could provide that mommy milky.